Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back at you with another video from a fairly cloudy and windy day here in Earl Shilton, where I'm staying at the moment. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and as ever, I'd love to hear your comments. I wasn't sure what to do, so I went for a little bit of a walk, at least to get out for a bit. But yeah, I did want to try and do as much writing and YouTubing and things like that as possible, which is the reason why I went to have my own me time, so to speak. Anyway, enough of me waffling, sorry about that. But yeah, so as I mentioned in the title, this is a review of sorts because I didn't actually get to watch the game against Motherwell. But I know Celtic won by a goal. It was 2-1. It was 2-1, so I can't really comment too much on the game because I didn't see it. I think from what I got of the match reports, from what I've seen, from the comments, like Celtic did dominate, but they're in a silly goal. And but I think the most important thing is the 3 points, really. Although I'd love it if Celtic could play really good and win each game like by loads of goals. But I think sometimes getting a scrappy win is important. And I think I was going to say in the preview, not sure if I remembered to say it, but I think the main thing is the 3 points and Celtic learning to win games, even if it's win ugly, like scrappy goals and things like that. But it's normally good to play really attacking and beautiful football, but sometimes probably, as I say, it's good to get a fluky goal or if you're not playing so well, like still dig out a result and things like that, perhaps. But again, it would be better if we play some really good and beautiful football as well, or mainly. So I know that's the way Ange wants to play. And yeah, it would be really cool if we can get a victory against Leipzig, especially for the confidence and all that. I think one of the biggest things for the domestic games, for the league and all that, is to not get many injuries, or preferably no injuries. I think on international duty, a few players got injured, so I'm hoping there's no injuries. And most importantly, I think, as I've talked before about, I think the most important thing is the objectives for this season, I think, should be to win the league. I think that's the main priority, and then any other domestic trophies, and then anything in Europe is like a bonus. So I still think for a team in Scotland, the main priority should be domestic trophies, because you can actually win those trophies. It's unlikely that a team in Scotland is going to win a European trophy for a while, but you never know. Now I've said it, they probably will, but hopefully Rangers won't do very well in Europe. That's really important to me, and I'm sure for any Celtic fan. But yeah, so as I hope they get trashed. I think they're playing Liverpool next, so I hope Liverpool. I've got to admit, I'm not a Liverpool fan. Sorry to any Liverpool fans out there, but I hope you thrash the Rangers. So, yeah, any team that plays Rangers, I always want them to beat the Rangers, because I don't like Rangers because they're quite an imperialistic side. I think they always sing like Rule Britannia and things like that. So they stand for things that I don't quite agree with. And I think quite a lot of their fans are quite racist in my understanding. I know some of them are probably very good, but I think on the whole, from what I've seen and heard, even like some Asian fans who actually used to support Rangers said that they got, in articles, they said they got a lot of racist abuse. That's why I'm a Celtic fan, and I hope to cover videos about why I'm a Celtic fan. But yeah, I'd love to see, as I often mentioned, I'd love to see the club get as much funds as possible. And I'm thinking about making videos as soon as possible about why I think Gypsies should support Celtic. Like, I hope to make specific videos about that, like Gypsies to support Celtic, because Gypsies are like travellers, and Celtic are a team that was founded on like Irish immigration to Scotland. So they're kind of like travellers as well historically, and a lot of like from the Irish background, and a lot of Gypsies, I think, also have Irish blood. And then there's the Roma Gypsies as well. But yeah, I think that due to the fact that both groups have suffered from discrimination and both like to travel and things like that, in my opinion, obviously I'm a bit biased, but I think it'd be good for Gypsies to support Celtic, and hopefully they'll have like even more camaraderie with each other in terms of supporting Celtic. Maybe that can unite them together more. There's probably a lot of things that are done in Gypsy communities that I don't. Well, in terms of like violence and things like that, I'm not a big fan of violence or things like that. And I know they can be a bit violent with each other, which maybe they could unite together and put their differences aside and be as united as possible, more united than ever, through like football, through supporting Celtic as well. And I also hope for Roma Gypsies to support Roma, and also for Roma, as well as all their town teams, to have a partnership with Celtic. Obviously I'm a bit biased because through me, like, I hope they'll unite together, but even though I'm not Catholic, coincidentally, both have a strong Catholic connection. And I thought, for a joke, it would be interesting if Roma and Celtic like have a partnership as well, especially because our rivals Rangers sing "No Pope of Rome" or something like that. So they're very anti-Catholic, so they sing bad things about Pope, obviously, and say stuff about Pope in Rome and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to have like a little from that hate, have like a little funny sort of partnership between Rome and Celtic, and they could have like a cup between each other, like like a match between each other, like a friendly match, especially at youth level, like where they help each other to train and sort of bring each other together through like the No Pope Rome Cup. So like to make a little bit of humour from that. But I know I've probably gone a bit off track. But as I say, I can't really review the game because I didn't get to watch it. I didn't manage to watch it. I didn't have any money to go to the pub, and also yeah, I can't find the channel on TV. So, but yeah, I think the most important thing is that Celtic got 3 points, and it would be good to pick up a win against Leipzig and to do well in Europe. But I think the main priorities should be the domestic trophies, even if we have to rest players in Europe because I think that not sure why I put that in speech marks, but yeah, some of my patterns and that sort of thing. But because I think that hopefully European games won't affect our domestic success or focus on the domestic game. Sorry. But yeah, I can't think of much else to say. But yeah, in the future, as I often say, I'd love for Celtic to have as many fans around the world as possible, supporters clubs, academies, especially in developing countries. And on that note, for the Celtic Foundation to support things like girls' education, maybe even the women's team could do something towards like raising awareness of issues facing girls in developing countries, like in parts of Asia and Africa, and as well as, I know it's not technically a developing country, but as well as Ireland. But yeah, support people in Latin America as well. And hopefully that'll be a mutual benefit, like, because if Celtic support those groups, it could be good for the PR and increasing like supporters clubs and academies in those countries. And again, more people will find out about the club and things like that. Perhaps again, good for PR, perhaps, but also at the same time, I hope it will benefit people in those countries. And again, I'd love for gypsies and people like that to support Celtic and to encourage as many Celtic supporters clubs and academies as possible, like fundraise to have academies around the world, but also Celtic to support like things like STEM and education in politics and business and things like that, in again, especially developing or former colonized countries or both. I think that was something I was going to say, but I can't quite remember. But as ever, I'd love to hear what you think. If you watched the game, I'd love to hear your review. I probably should have said that earlier. And what you think Celtic's priorities should be. And if you're a Celtic fan, I'd love to know what you would like to see the club achieve this year and into the future. And what do you think the club can achieve? Like, I suppose we would love to win. I'm sure most Celtic fans would love to win 10 in a row in the future, like in, I don't know how long that would take, but by 2032 or something like that, or 31 or something like that. Anyway, if we could win that, I think it'd be great, but it's how feasible it is. And but hopefully with good investment and things like that, the club can do as well as possible. But again, I'd love to hear what your objectives would be, maybe this year and for the next few years, and next 5 and 10 years, or in the future generally. And I am out. Peace out.